How do you feel that political and social issues that you've been describing there have affected your writing?
When I started doing poetry, I did it because of the love of words. I just loved rhyme. You know, I used to go to girls in the playground and say, if I write a poem about you, if I make up a poem about you, will you give me a kiss? You know, and that's how I used to get my kisses. It was just fun, it was playing with words. Later on in life, I realised that there was poverty and there was racism and all this thing. And I said, right, now I'm going to take this skill, talent, whatever you want to call it, and talk about it in my poetry. So it kind of really did affect my work. There's a period where my writing is all fluffy and it's all about little stuff in this playground and everything else, and then it gets really serious. Because I just thought, I'm going to take my poetry and change the world. You know, I really thought that, you know, if I could get heard, and there was other people like me that could get heard, we could really have a revolution and change the world with our poetry. So it was all about politics, it was all about these issues. I remember once somebody come to me and said, the problem with your poetry, Benjamin, is that, you know, you don't write enough love poetry, you should write more love poetry. And I felt like my poetry is love poetry, it's about love of humanity, it's about love of the planet, it's about loving each other, it's real love, it's not about running off with a girl. This is real love, this is real kind of humanitarianism. But so, you know, it was for me, it was all about the issues. Later on, I guess, I kind of lightened up a little bit and I realised that putting humour into it as well was really important. Because a lot of the poets I know from my generation, it was the generation of, you know, Thatcher basically, and apartheid. And I can remember when apartheid was gone, some people say it hasn't gone completely, but you know what I mean, when officially apartheid was dismantled, and when Thatcher left, a lot of poets didn't have anything else to say. I was employed by the British Council and some organisations in South Africa to go to South Africa to get what they call struggle poets in South Africa, to think about other things, because they've been so obsessed with the struggle that when the struggle was over, they were like, what do I write about now? But for me, you know, love, politics, they're all kind of there together. When I write a poem like I love my mother and my mother loves me, which is something I wrote when I was 8 years old. We come so far from over the sea. We heard that the streets were paved with gold. That's my mother. She says that. She read a poster that said, Britain, you know, sometimes it's hot, sometimes it's cold. I love my mother and my mother loves me. We try to live in harmony. Well, you can call her Valerie, but to me she's my mummy. You know, so it's fun and it's a kind of love poem about my mother, but there's still some kind of political references in there. Sorry for sounding really boring, but everything is political, whether we like it or not.